joining us in studio this morning, at least for a little bit. I imagine things are pretty busy over at the ENMU campus right now. Donna, Oracion back with us. It's gearing up, fall semester. Everything's
started yesterday.
Everything's starting to look like a normal, typical semester at the campus.
Our new normal.
Yeah. Good deal.
Yes, we started classes yesterday, and of course, students can still register all the way through Friday. That's the last day to add and drop a class.
So if you want to do something, you still got time this week?
There's still time. I got a call from a student yesterday saying, is it too late? And I said, no, you can still. I just want to take one class. Sure.
Okay, perfect.
Come on, talk to an advisor, get registered. So, even if you miss one class or you're still fine.
Yeah, generally that first class, they're going over syllabus and, kind of, you'll have to do that on your own. But as far as curriculum goes, it usually starts that second class.
So all the way through Friday, you can add and drop a class. So if something's changed in your life and you say, I can't do that class anymore, I'd rather take it online, or I need to take it in the day or the evening, you can make those changes all the way through Friday.
Good deals.
And our enrollment's looking good. We're up from last fall, which is good. So
good deal.
We've got new students coming in, continuing students of all ages. We've got Youth Challenge on campus, adult education, special services. And
are they back doing their full programs and things?
They're not quite full capacity, but it's a good group of cadets.
Good, because they, like the college, they probably more so.
Yes.
They got basically shut down during COVID.
Right, because they are, fully resident. They live on campus in dorms. And
so it's good to see they're back doing their full program.
Yes,
again,
and we have early college, high school students on campus as well. So we have such a variety of students on our campus. It's really just amazing when someone says, I don't know if I'll fit in.
It's like,
yes, you will fit in.
Are you breathing? Then you'll fit.
You'll fit in. We have no doubt that you will fit in just fine.
Yeah.
So we're really excited to have that semester underway.
Good.
And faculty had their in-service last week, and our staff had our in-service last week. So
good deal.
We're raring to go.
Well, since we're talking back to welcome back, this Thursday night, I'd like to welcome back people.
Right.
You guys are having a big welcome back event this Thursday?
We are. We're having a big shindig on Thursday, August 18th, and that's from 4 to 7. So it's not really night, but it's late afternoon. Pre-evening.
Depends on how old you are.
Depends on
some of the older folks are like by the time
this is past my bedtime.
7 hits, I'm like I turned to a pumpkin around now.
Right. So depending on your schedule, we're calling it a welcome back night, but it's from 4 to 7 on Thursday. So we're having the Matthew Palmer Band play.
They're
for us.
Excellent. I've seen them play several times, and they're a very talented group. You'll enjoy them. Yeah.
So if you haven't heard them, you'll be able to hear them, and it will be outside in our we're calling now our sculpture courtyard, which is where our new Reaching for the Stars sculpture has been installed.
So if you haven't seen that,
if you haven't seen it, it's really nice. We have it. We have some landscaping around it, some nice fencing.
But it's over by the Performing Arts Center.
Right in front of the Performing Arts Center. So in that courtyard area, there's a lot of areas for shade and things like that.
Nice little group gathering area.
Kind of a gathering area. So we'll have that set up. So we'll have some games. We'll have petting zoo, which is really the
Is it Runyon Ranch?
The Runyon Ranch.
Yeah, they always
animals.
usually bring an exotic animal or two, depending on. That all depends on the animals and how they're feeling that day and all that.
What their mood is that day. But we'll have a variety of those animals that you can get up close and personal with, and those are always fun to see. Free popcorn. We'll have a lot of food trucks around as well.
So a little something for adults, kids, everybody.
For everybody. And it's not just for our students. If students have families or
so it's for the community.
It's for everybody. So the community is invited. So even though maybe you're not even going to school out there, but you want to check things out, or your son or daughter or family member is attending, please come and join us. So
or if you got if you're that 18-year-old and you kind of want to feel independent, but you want to show your parents, because especially if you're 18 and you're on your own and you're kind of like, I got it myself, but your parents are still like parents, they're going to be parents, and you say, all right, this is what you can come to this, and you can see my life and all that. Then you go back and let me study.
Right. Exactly.
So if you want to use this as,
you can kind of get a glimpse into their environment. If you haven't been on campus in a while, it looks great. Our maintenance crew is always so good about keeping the grounds, the grass mowed. And
it's really nice.
It's really nice.
It's
really nice campus.
It's a park-like atmosphere when you're not in the buildings and everything.
Yes, it is. So we're really excited to have that. And our ACES students have actually planned this event and coordinated. There are achieving, I have to remember the acronym.
What the acronym stands for?
Achieving something in educational, achieving collegiate academic. Anyway.
I'm trying to ACES.
ACES.
Education.
I blanked out on the acronym. But anyway, there are student ambassadors program.
And so they're hosting the welcome back event.
They're hosting it. So they've been trying to just get going in the community and on campus. Just their role, of course, is to be representatives for the campus and work with students and really have more of a student focus so that they maintain visibility on campus and in the community. And so they did a cleanup last Saturday with Keep Roswell Beautiful.
Yeah, so they're really getting involved with that community side of the college. And
they helped with our new student orientation. So they've been really active so far. So they're planning this event, and we're really happy to have them on board getting this going.
Part of college life is social. You know what I mean? That's an important aspect. I know we get so wrapped up in class schedules and getting degrees, and all that's important and the most important thing. But part of college life is the social side and maturing. You know, depending on your age, obviously, if you're coming out of high school and things, that's definitely a transitional period. But even for folks that are, doing a second career opportunity or whatever it is, it's still that opportunity to meet new people, meet people that are doing things like you do. And so come out for the social side of it. Even if you're like, well, I know the campus, I know everything, come out and meet some people and who knows, make some friends.
You'll meet some people maybe you haven't met before. And
maybe, learn about some of the groups and social side of the campus and opportunities there. And who knows, maybe you'll find your next passion or friendship or something at this.
Right. And, it's all based on the theory, of course, that the more involved you are, the more connected you feel to the campus, the more likely you are to continue on your education journey. And that's part of retention, and that's what we're also about as well. We don't want to just enroll students, and we want to find ways to retain them and make sure they stay.
It's not about just numbers. It's about providing futures for people.
So we want them to continue and feel connected, and this is just one of the activities that we're doing this fall. We have several more events planned. But,
so come out, bring the kids, let them get in the petting zoo and eat popcorn and do all that stuff, and then just come meet and talk and hang out and have fun.
Right. So we're really excited to have that. And again, everybody's welcome. So 4 to 7 on Thursday.
Very good. This Thursday.
Coming
up. And like you said, it's by the Performing Arts Center. If you're a little confused on
right, and there will be signs, but you should be.
You'll see a gathering of people.
You'll find it
just
pretty easily.
You'll see the Performing Arts Center and a group of people just kind of gathering and hanging out. That's where it's at.
That's where it is. That's where you'll find us.
Yeah.
So again, that's Thursday, and then of course we have a number of other things coming up during this semester, and then one thing that you'll be hearing more about is, of course, there's an election coming up in November. It's election time again.
Another bond
issue. We have GEO Bond C.
It's C this time.
C.
Okay.
So for higher education, and of course that means projects for universities across the state. And our project is for $2.47 million, and that's for installing fire suppression systems in 3 of our buildings. So that would be the Arts and Science Center, the Occupational Technology Center, and the PE
upgrading
Center.
and updating those fire suppression systems
and that's,
to more
of
modern
course,
stuff.
A critical safety aspect that we need
That's kind of a big deal.
It's kind of a big deal.
Just out of curiosity, because I know you have the stuff there, NMMI also takes advantage of this. Do you guys know what their
NMMI's project is for $4 million, and that's to expand their Bates dining hall.
Okay, so by voting for this, now here's the deal, folks.
I can't tell you how to vote.
Yeah, Donna.
I can provide information.
Donna just says it's happening. Please be aware of it. I'm the guy that says vote yes for it because they can't, they can't get political here. But at the end of the day, this is how these bonds that you vote on every couple years. This is how the campuses get these money, and it's for every basically higher learning institution in the state's benefits from this. So UNM. Whatever college here, they all probably have a project.
Yes.
So you're benefiting every single institution in the state here. We're just trying to show you what here at ENMU-R is doing, and of course what NMMI is doing.
Right.
But this is for every single higher institution learning facility in the state. So,
and of course it is a statewide vote. So if it passes by a majority of the statewide voters, the projects do proceed.
Yeah.
So even if for some reason Chaves County would fail it, but it's passed the statewide, it would still go into effect. But we really hope our voters support it. And again, there's no tax increase associated with this because the bonds are renewed every 10 years.
Yeah.
So it's really a renewal. It's very an easy thing to do. It's a very positive thing to do for.
And I
for
think
the
it's just part of
college.
checks and balances, where
It
it's we want to give every college money to do these things, but they also want to ensure that these colleges are actually doing what they're saying with it. So I think this is part of that checks and balances. Every few years, we're going to make you vote on this and make you guys tell us exactly what you're doing with that money, and that's part of that checks and balances.
We've had several course projects over the years. We had the Automotive Welding Technology Center,
which is now,
and that's fully functional and open, and that's open for the first time this fall. So that's a beautiful facility, very nice, very modern, great equipment, space.
And trust me, there's many employers in this community that are very happy to see that back up in full capacity.
Yes.
And I imagine, because obviously that program did not slow down when this happened.
We just had to
just shifted a little
relocate
bit.
them to other
But
spaces.
I'm sure it's going to be a lot more efficient now that it's all centralized.
And we can
it's all
train
right
more
there.
students as well. So it's a really wonderful facility. And again, thanks to voters supporting the bond. And that was in 2018.
Yeah.
And then in 2020, we had the video surveillance and campus lighting, which right now is underway on campus.
They're working on that.
They're
one
working
now.
on that.
So next up will be this fire suppression stuff.
So
and
then
some of
after
these,
that will be fire
I'm guessing that there are
suppression.
3 older buildings that they've been around since the base days? Or?
They're older building. The Arts and Science Center was a renovated base facility. The OTC is an older facility as well. And the PE Center, again.
So these buildings are probably from the
part of-
40s in some cases, depending, or 50s.
Yeah.
Maybe 60s at the latest.
A little bit later, but but part of it is because of regulations from public ed. If we have any early college high school students in these buildings, they can't locate in those buildings because they don't have fire suppression systems.
Gotcha.
So it's part of also a requirement from the
So their buildings are almost
PED.
kind of useless
They're
to you
kind
until
of
that
off
happens.
limits to the early college, and really just for campus safety in general. And these are very expensive projects. So we try and take care of maintenance as best we can, but a lot of times we do ask the voters to support us in some of these higher end projects.
Very good.
We really need support for.
So come November here when you vote, or in October if you vote early or whatever it is here. But when you do vote, please, when you see the ballot, you'll see Bond C on there, and that's what this is covering. So please read it because you should. It's on the ballot. But
it will explain.
But I can say it. Please vote for it because it really does help every single institution in this state. And I'm telling you, we look at our numbers and you look every year, we're always in the bottoms of these stats. Well, it doesn't get fixed without improving. And this is how you do
Right.
stuff
And
like
we need
that.
to keep our facilities, even though a lot of students do take classes online, we have a lot of students, the majority that take our classes on campus. So we need to maintain our facilities and keep them safe.
And I just kind of putting the plug in for everybody here, we're here in Roswell, we're pretty plugged in, but there's a lot of campuses and even some of the other campuses as part of Eastern, they're in remote locations and things. And so technologies and things, they need the money for what these projects are. So please, this is how we make our higher education system better in this state.
It's just an endorsement. And again, you'll see it, the slogan this year is uplift education, which is kind of it's a very positive thing that you can do. You're not voting against something, you are voting.
Yeah, it's easy to vote against things. We got a lot of that.
I won't say that, but
yes, you're voting.
But uplifting education is something we should all support.
And I'm sure if you have questions about exactly what the campus is doing, you can call and they'll be happy to tell you about it.
Right. I know Dr. Powell and General Grizzle are speaking right now to various civic clubs and organizations about
doing the
the bond.
Yeah.
And if you have a group or somebody that you'd like to have come talk to you about it, if you have questions, you can call me at 624-7403 and we'll make arrangements for them to do that.
I imagine at some point Dr. Powell is going to want to come on here as we get close to the election and kind of explain exactly what that bond C is going to do for ENMU-R.
Right. And our campus in Portales also has a project. It's at $9 million, and it's for a student services building on campus to consolidate all of their services.
Good deal.
So, again, a lot of the majority of higher ed institutions in the state do benefit from Bond C.
Well, and then the Portales campus, they serve a bit of a different role than the Roswell campus does, where they have people like staying as a 4-year where there's fraternities and things like that, where it's more of when people picture college life, that's kind of more like that.
Right, it's more traditional.
Yeah. So when you put on your 80s college movie, It looks more like Portal. Revenge of the Nerds or something like that. That looks like that.
Oh, I'm sure they would love that. I'll tell them you said
Maybe
that.
not the comedy part, but just the lifestyle of, a little bit.
Just teasing. I know what you mean.
Although, the Nerds turned out pretty good at the end there.
They did.
They were the winners.
Go Nerds. That's right. There's nothing wrong with being a nerd. I've been a nerd all my life. So also, along with, I'll just mention Library Bond B. So again, there's A, B, and C. But B is for public libraries and academic libraries and tribal libraries.
Now, does your library get some funding for that one too at the campus?
From that as well, and my library would, Roswell Public Library, and all the public school libraries.
Yeah, they kind of go hand in hand when we talk. Both B and C, and this year B is the library bond.
Yes.
And so our library here has probably got a project, and probably every other one in the state as well.
They really rely on these bonds to keep their acquisitions current, to make sure they have technology, and libraries are all about technology now.
Well, I don't imagine
online resources.
You guys run your own library, but when a municipality runs the library, they're probably, I'm not saying you guys aren't stringent on your budget, but the way money comes into those, certain things are earmarked a certain way, where you guys probably have a little bit more freedom when money comes in on what you do with it, where because it's from a city or some other municipality, they're like, no, this money only can buy these books, or this money can only pay for these chairs, or whatever it is.
Right.
And so the bond will allow, it's for a specific project, but those things that maybe some of these other expenses wouldn't cover, that bond B will cover. So
yes, and our public library is great. It's a really nice facility, and it's used quite a bit by our community. So we want to make sure we invest in that library as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's a great resource for our community. So.
It is. So
please vote for bond B and C here when you do go vote here in the fall.
Yes, and just, it seems early to be talking about it, but early voting and absentee voting starts October 11th.
I know. It's right around the corner.
It's right around the corner, and then expanded early voting is October 22nd to November 5th, and then Election Day is November 8th, of course. So,
of course, I got a feeling we'll all get reminded pretty quick here in about a month.
All you have to do is drive around, you'll see the political signs, and
we're in a bit of a lull where you just see sporadic ads here and there, but wait till September starts, and it's on.
That's why we're trying to break through some of that noise and make sure people don't forget about the bonds and they get lost in all of the other.
Before you get too mad on the ballot, wait till you get to the B and C on the back there.
Right.
Usually it's on the back.
It will probably be on the back of the ballot at the end.
Good deal.
So we've got a couple other things coming up. Of course, our community college board has welcomed a new member, Jamila Miller.
I saw the press release yesterday.
She's our new board member. So she replaced Ralph Frescas in District 4. So her term will continue through December of 23. So we're glad to have a new member on our board. And
is she an alum or?
She is not.
Okay.
But
has a probably vast experience.
She has great
education.
Educational experience. She's an assistant principal at Brendo Middle School currently. So she's very tied into the school district.
Very good. So that'll be a nice little connection.
Yeah. So with
the RASD in the college.
Yes. And our college board, of course, is our main governing board. So Maria Trujillo is the chair, our president, and she's also with the Roswell School District.
Well, they're the ones at the end of the day that decide the direction of the campus.
Yes,
and then the president marches to those orders.
Right,
basically.
and a lot of times they'll refer with they'll make a recommendation that will go on to the Board of Regents, but they play a very critical role, and there are eyes and ears in the community as well. So so please,
they're kind of the pulse of the campus.
Those members, and and all of their information's on our website as well.
So. And by all means, if you ever have questions or want some update, by all means, please reach out to them. They love to talk and get input.
And their meetings are public. They meet once a month, and we always post the agenda on our website and have open public meetings for that as well. We're also going to be doing some, we're calling them listen and learn sessions for the community input that we're seeking for revising our strategic plan. So every few years we revise our strategic plan, and that kind of is the roadmap for what the campus will be doing for the next several years as far as programming, services.
Kind of like when a city talks about a master plan or something like it. This is sort of an equivalent to that for the college.
And as a community college, we want to know what the community thinks about what we're doing. So we have a few of those scheduled right now for Roswell. We're also working on some for the Valley communities as well. But August 25th at 5 p.m., we're having a session at the Roswell Public Library, in fact, in the Bondurant Room. And then September 6th, and that will be at 11:30. we're trying to do some at 2 different times.
Sure, catch people.
And catch people. They
Availabilities.
would rather do it in the evening or at lunchtime.
Yeah.
And that will be at the Roswell Public Library in the Bondurant Room.
Okay, so same place both dates.
Same place both times.
So the 25th?
August 25th at 5 p.m.
Okay.
And September 6th at 11:30
Nice.
a.m. And then we'll let people know if you live in the Valley communities when we're doing those is there as well.
Okay. And yeah, we'll get those words.
So
for
again,
that.
that's just to, you'll hear about what we're doing, what we're thinking of doing in the future. But if you have an idea or any kind of input, I think you should do this, or you should look at this, or just from a community perspective, we want people to give us their input.
And that's the thing we want to stress is that college is your college. It is
your college.
It's a part of the. I mean, obviously, the main goal is to educate and get people degrees and get them to their next level of future plans for them. That's the end game. But at the same time, it's that partnership. The businesses that college can't grow without the support of the community.
Right.
The community cannot get better without the support of that college.
Right.
And that's
very much.
And that's the partnership that the foundation, the board, all these folks foster and constantly. And you're talking about the listings. That's all part of that. Getting that everybody on the same page, basically.
Yes, and they are our stakeholders, and we're here for them. We would not be here if it wasn't for the community and our students. We wouldn't exist.
Yeah.
So we really hope that we will get some good attendance at that. And then even if you can't make it, you're always welcome to email or call me, or email or call Dr. Powell. He'd be happy to talk with you about any of that. And then of course we're also doing a search right now for a new chancellor and president of the university system.
Okay.
So Patrice Caldwell will be retiring. And so we do have a national search going on for a new chancellor.
Yeah, I feel like
president.
that's not a job you just put in at the Labor Department.
No, it's
a little bit different.
Very specific,
Looking for a chancellor, and we got one of those laying around.
Anybody has to go look. Yeah, so we're really pleased to see that process moving forward, and it's a very inclusive process as well. So on August 29th, we are doing a kind of a community forum, and it's again everyone's welcome to come out to that. It's at 1:30 in our OTC on campus. And if you just have any input on the person leading the search firm, it's a national search firm that's helping us conduct that search.
Okay.
And so he will be there guiding the discussion. But if you have any input on what the president should know or do, any abilities or qualities that you'd like to see in that president that's chosen or recommended,
so
you can provide that.
So part of the process is the firm kind of like gets you a pool, and narrows it down to whatever it is,
they
18
reach
candidates
out across the country and find people that are a good match and a good fit for the university system. And so the chancellor serves as chancellor of the university system, but also president of ENMU.
Gotcha.
So it's a kind of a combined role. So our president, Dr. Powell, does report to the president of the ENMU.
So
system.
this person basically calls Portales home.
Yes, the person, the
because their
position
office,
live
everything
in
will be at the main
Portales,
campus,
and they
there.
stay in Portales at the main campus.
But it's kind of like, the firm will give them a half dozen candidates, and then the board, I guess, sits down and says, "This is the we'll pick the best out of this group."
There's a search committee that's been organized, and so it's a representative group of students and staff, and there's representation from the Verdoso campus, from the Roswell campus. So that search committee will are working with this firm, and then they look at applications and they decide which to pursue. And it's a long process.
It's just kind of peeling back the curtain. Like several years ago, when my wife got selected to be part of the process for selecting the superintendent.
Okay, yeah,
and so
very similar.
There's kind of, and so that's why I have that knowledge in my head, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure it's going to look a lot like that.
Yes. So right now they have been, of course, advertising the position, and they help us to know, which areas of the country, which people were looking for in different positions at different colleges, and what educational background, what their just kind of the way that they work and operate, and trying to find somebody that will be a good fit for us.
Good deal. Well, you got a little bit of time since you have someone in place before they retire, but I imagine they want them I want them. They probably want to work hand in hand for a month or two there
right, and
for the
hopefully,
transition.
I think the timeline is to have somebody by January
Okay.
in place. So
Good deal. So you got the fall semester
busy.
to find
Yes.
a new person to be the
Yes.
chancellor / president of the
Right.
college.
So that will be going on as well.
Okay.
We're going to have a Constitution Day celebration. Constitution Day is September 17th.
Okay.
And so we're actually having it on the 13th because the 17th is a Saturday. But that is the national.
No one wants to come out for the party on the
17th. So we're doing it on the 13th. But again, that's just to remind students of the value of the Constitution.
Absolutely.
And it's a federal holiday because we do receive federal financial aid.
Good.
And it's part of the
Well,
recognition.
it is the document we live our lives
It
by.
is the
and
document.
that's
So-
kind of a big deal.
So we have many constitutions to pass out to students and a lot of other activities that day.
And I always think it's good for every American to be more familiar with the Constitution than most of us are. So.
Yes, I agree. Any more familiarity of that document is important.
Absolutely. The more people know about it, the less people can manipulate it.
Right. Right. Exactly.
That's another story for another day.
That's another story. Well, we won't go into any of that. So we also have a foundation banquet coming up on October 25th, and that will be on campus. You'll hear more about that. We're going to do an art gala, community art gala on November 10th. Of course, graduation will be December 8th. So we have a lot of things that we're planning and in the works for the fall. So it'll be a very busy fall semester.
So, and of course, Donna will be here and
we'll
to
be
keep
here
us
and
up to date.
We'll bring you other staff members that can come and talk about some of the other things we're doing during the semester.
But don't forget, this Thursday, the 18th, from 4 to 7, come on out to the Welcome Back event. It's going to be at right by the Performing Arts Center at the new sculpture there, the sculpture courtyard there, right by the Performing Arts Center.
Yes.
Come, bring the entire family. Even if you're not a member of the college, you're invited to come on out and meet.
Please.
They're going to have a little petting zoo with Runyon Ranch. They're going to have the Matthew Palmer band's going to be setting the tone for the music and everything. There'll be games and free popcorn. There's going to be some food trucks hanging out if you want something more substantial.
Right.
And just come out, mingle, have fun, and let's celebrate the start of a new semester.
Yeah, we're really excited to have a semester underway. And then again, if you are still interested in taking a class or two, you have until Friday.
You got till Friday to get
that.
it done. But if you got to swap or move around or whatever, we can do that then. Excellent.
Right. And our website has all information on all of this that we discussed. Roswell.enmu.edu or the main number is 624-7000.
Awesome. Well, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
We'll see you next time.